Hi everyone. Hi, happy evening to one and all. Welcome to our CATS 26th online session. Very good rainy and cloudy climate outside. I think all are ready with your cup of coffee. And about today's program, basis of COVID, what everyone should know. Actually, COVID has come very near to us, and in the start of the April, we heard few cases here and there. Now it is near to our area, house, to our relatives also. We ask our children to compete with themselves with their previous results or previous marks, but this corona is competing with itself, daily beating its previous day results. Around 5,000 cases yesterday. No one can save us. Only our self-discipline, immunity, and our habits can save us. Let us hear from the expert. As usual, here we go with a small presentation about CARE by our CARE trainer Sahana. Over to you, Sahana.
Okay, ma'am. CARE, Chidambaram Academy of Refinement and Enrichment, was started on 5th September 2006 and named after the renowned freedom fighter Mr. V.O. Chidambaranar of Thoothukudi. The main objectives of CARE is societal development through human resource development. We have a easy accessibility. CARE has 11 zonal offices across South India, namely Madurai, Tiruchi, Kovai, Vellore, Chennai, Hosur, Puduvai, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, and Kerala. Services offered by CARE: training and development, guidance and counseling, legal support, recruitment. Other services like corporate films and training videos, corporate magazines, GST services and training, translation works, event management, and CSR activities. All our activities and services are guided under our founder director CARE, Dr. R. Krishnamurthy, professor, psychologist, trainer, advocate, and social worker, and also by our joint director CARE, Mr. S. Balachandar, director, ELM World Academy, Hosur. You can contact us through the given mobile numbers. Also visit our website for more information. You can write us for any query in the following mail IDs. Join us through social media by subscribing our YouTube channel for free motivational videos. CARE HRD for Success. All our online sessions is also being shared in the YouTube channel. Also find us in Facebook, CARE HRD India. Now to formally welcome the chief guest, may I request her to please accept the bouquet.
Thank you,
Doctor.
Yeah,
Welcome.
welcome.
We are honored about your visit. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, ma'am. So thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, Sahana. Next, I invite our ever charming N. Pandian Sir, Zonal Director Chennai, to deliver his inaugural address and introduce our today's faculty, Dr. Meenakshi Madam. Over to you, sir.
நன்றி மா.
Thank you, sir.
வந்திருக்கும் அனைத்து பார்வையாளர்களுக்கும் வணக்கம். இன்னைக்கு நடக்கிற நிகழ்ச்சி பார்த்தீங்கன்னு சொன்னா ஒரு சிறப்பான நிகழ்ச்சி. அதாவது ஒரு மருத்துவர் நமக்கு ஒரு தெளிவான விவரங்களை கொடுக்குறாங்க. அந்த மருத்துவர் பார்த்தீங்கன்னு சொன்னா தமிழ்நாட்டில் தென்பகுதியில் தென்காசியில் பிறந்தவங்க. கடையம் பள்ளிக்கூடத்தில் 1990 பள்ளி மாணவர் தலைவராக தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்டவங்க. அதெல்லாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இப்போ ஒரு மாணவர் தலைவர் அப்படின்னு சொன்னா அவங்க படிப்புல எப்படி இருப்பாங்கன்னு பார்த்தா பொதுவாக மாற்றங்களா தான் இருக்கும். ஆனா இவங்க படிப்புலேயே சிறந்து விளங்கியிருக்காங்க. அதாவது பார்த்தீங்கன்னா பள்ளியில முதலாக தேர்ச்சி பெற்றது மட்டும் இல்லாம மாவட்டத்திலேயே முதல் மாணவராக தேர்ச்சி பெற்றிருக்காங்க ஒரு 94 விழுக்காடோட. மறுபடியும் பார்த்தீங்கன்னு சொன்னா 12ஆம் வகுப்புலையும் அந்த விழுக்காடு குறையாம தேர்ச்சி பெற்றிருக்காங்க. ஒரு நல்ல மாணவர் அப்படிங்கிற வகையில அவங்க நல்ல மதிப்பெண்கள் எடுத்ததுனால மருத்துவக் கல்லூரியில அவங்க சேர்ந்து MBBS பட்டமும் பெற்றிருக்காங்க. அங்கேயும் ஒரு தன்னுடைய முத்திரைகளை பதிக்கணும் அப்படிங்கிறதுக்காக பார்த்தீங்கன்னு சொன்னாக்கா அனாட்டமி அப்புறம் ஆப்தமாலஜி இந்த வகையில வந்து டிஸ்டிங்ஷன் பெற்றிருக்கிறாங்க. பீடியாட்ரிக்ஸ்லயும் ஆர்த்தோபெடிக்ஸ்லயும் கோல்டு மெடலிஸ்ட் வாங்கியிருக்கிறாங்க. ஸோ கோல்டு மெடலிஸ்ட் அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னு சொன்னாக்கா வந்து ஒரு பல்கலைக்கழக அளவில் வாங்கும்போது ஒரு பெரிய சிறப்பான ஒண்ணு. மாநிலத்துல முதல் பரிசு பெற மாதிரி அந்த மாதிரி அவங்க துறையில சிறந்து விழுந்திருக்காங்க. அது ஒரு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா டிப்ளமேட் இன் நேஷனல் போர்டு DNB ஆயிருக்காங்க. பிஜி டிப்ளமோ படிச்சிருக்கிறாங்க ரேடியோ டயக்னோஸ்டிக்ஸ்ல அப்போலோ ஹாஸ்பிட்டல்ல. 2006 2007 ரேடியோலஜிஸ்டா ஒர்க் பண்ணியிருக்கிறாங்க. ஃபீட்டல் அல்ட்ராசவுண்ட் அதுல ஒரு ஃபெல்லோஷிப்பா இருக்காங்க பெங்களூர்ல இருக்கிற ஒரு நிறுவனத்துல. இது மட்டும் இல்லாம ஃபீட்டல் மெடிசின் ஃபவுண்டேஷன் அவங்க வந்து ஒரு சான்றிதழ் வாங்கியிருக்காங்க. எங்க இருந்து பத்தி சொன்னாக்கா யூகேல இருந்து. இந்த மாதிரி உள்நாட்டில் மட்டும் இல்லாம வெளி மாநிலங்களிலும் அல்லது வந்து உலகளாவிய அளவிலையும் பட்டங்களையும் முதன்மை இடங்களையும் பெற்றுள்ள இந்த மருத்துவ பெருந்தகையை நமது நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு வரவேற்பதில் மிக்க மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகிறோம். இவங்க கொடுக்க போற செய்தியை வந்து நீங்கள்லாம் கேட்டு உணர்ந்து பயன்பெறுவீங்கன்னு சொல்லிட்டு பார்வையாளர்கள் உங்கள்கிட்ட கேட்டுக்கிறேன். அது ரொம்ப முக்கிய பயனுள்ளதாக இருக்கும்னு நான் நம்புறேன். எங்களுடைய கேர் நிறுவனத்தின் சார்பிலும் எங்களுடைய மேல் இருக்கையர் முனைவர் பேராசிரியர் கிருஷ்ணமூர்த்தி ஐயா அவர் சார்பிலும் மருத்துவர் பெருந்தகை அம்மாவை அவர்களை வருக வருக வந்து வரவேற்கிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Expecting a lot of programs from your side also.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And your introduction has stimulated a lot of eagerness and hope to hear the speech from the Dr. Madam. Before giving the platform, as usual, announcements, please. Regular participants, bear with us. Type your doubts in the chat box that will be clarified by the trainer at the end of the session. Raise your hands during question answer session. You will be unmuted and you can ask your doubts or share your feedback with us. You can provide your name, WhatsApp number and city to have further updates of our program. Yes, everything is set. Prevention is better than cure. Madam, please make our participant aware and away from COVID. The stage is all yours, madam.
Thank you.
Sahana. Madam, you can share your screen now.
Yeah. Is it visible?
Not yet, madam.
Screen share. Are you able to see now?
Yes, madam, we are able to see. You can make slideshow so that you will be having a bigger vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine, madam. You can.
Yeah. Hi. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Meenakshi Paramaswaran. I'm a consultant radiologist in Chennai. So today I'm here to talk to you all about the basics of COVID, what everyone should know. Is basically the ABCs of COVID, what everyone should know to safeguard ourselves from this pandemic. So I'm a consultant radiologist at Apollo Specialty Hospitals, OMR, Chennai, and I'm a proprietor of Sandeep Scans in OMR, Chennai. So COVID, as you all know, it is a viral infection. Why all of us are so much bothered about COVID? Why not we treat it as any other viral flu or viral infection? So in simpler sense, how to differentiate a viral flu and COVID-19? I'll give you a simple example. It's like a difference between a tidal wave and a tsunami. So a tidal wave is like a big wave, which is because of the accelerated wind velocity. And tsunami is because of underwater earthquake. So if you get a tidal wave, the tidal wave will come, instead of touching your feet, it will rise up to your hip and make you wet and leave you there itself and go. Whereas if a tsunami comes, it will engulf you and take you into the sea and the life will be made. So, and it initially takes care of the people in the coast, and later on it enters into the city, and a lot of people will be taken into the sea because of that. Same way, viral flu is like a tidal wave and COVID-19 is like tsunami. Okay, so it is our duty to safeguard ourselves from this tsunami. So as you all know, pandemic means it's a worldwide infection. So why it is called a worldwide infection? So this is the data as on 29th of July, that is 2 days before. The total number of coronavirus cases in throughout the world is around 17 million. And though the number of cases who have recovered from COVID is around 10 million, the number of deaths is not small. It's around 6.65 lakhs. We cannot just like that ignore that number. Okay, so it is our duty that we should not fall into that number. And I'm sure by now in last 2 days time, another few millions would have got added to this number, whatever existing number is there. So history of corona, as you all know, it was made in China and it was imported to the Western world. And from there we have imported to India. So why we are so much bothered about that? Initially, we were thinking that as a disease of China. None of us were bothered about it. Then when it came to the Western world, all of us were worried whether we will also get that infection. But the moment it had silently it has entered India, and now initially it was in the metros. Only Mumbai, Chennai, and Delhi were getting affected with coronavirus. But now the virus has spread so fast. Bangalore, Hosur, Nellai, Kovai, you name the city, corona cases are there. No city is an exception. That is why it is called a pandemic. So all these cities are following Chennai with a lag of 2 to 3 months. Whatever we have gone through in the last 4 months' time, all of you are going to go through in the following months. So the bitter truth of COVID is no one knows when the peak is, whether we have already crossed the peak, whether we are in the peak or we are yet to see the peak. So I'll tell you, see, this is a simple sum. Any child can give the answer for this. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 in mathematics. But when you come to science, it is not always 2. Because medical science is so complex. Our answer will be, it may be 2, it may not be 2. Right now it may be 2, later on it may not be 2. Right now it may not be 2, and later on it can become 2. Why so much of inconclusions in medical science? This is because human body is so complex, and even the pathogens or the organisms which affect the human body are also very complex. So when both of them put together, make the situation even worse. So why all of us are so panic about this pandemic? It is not a simple virus. The coronavirus, it is not a simple virus. It mutates so easily, and new viral strains come day by day, and it poses a big challenge to the medical fraternity. In the name of finding a medicine or finding a vaccine, things are getting delayed all because of the mutation. And another thing is, no age is exempt. Even a newborn child can get affected, or even the elderly population gets affected. And there's an unpredictable course of the disease. You cannot assess, okay, this patient is in the milder form only. It will take another 1 week for them to go to the severe form. There's nothing like that. All of a sudden, anybody can go to the severe state over a period of, abruptly, not over a period of time, okay? And another one is, there are different presentations of the illness among the same family members. See, if you take 8 people in a family, 8 of them are COVID positives, okay? So in that 8-membered family, the newborn child and the mother will be COVID positive, but they will be totally asymptomatic. If they have a small child, like 4-year-old or 5-year-old, even that child can remain asymptomatic, or if at all, it can have a mild fever or cold or cough, and it will recover so easily. And those who are in the middle age, like 30s and 40s, they also become COVID positive, but they may present with severe throat pain, severe fever, or severe muscle pain, and their presentation will be different. And if you come to the older age group in that same family, they will present with severe breathing difficulty. They can have heart attack. They can get into stroke also. Why there are different presentations? See, the simple reason being, the same family members will be having the disease from the same strain of the virus. It is not a different strain of the virus which has come into one family. If one family, entire family is affected, means it is only single strain which is affecting the entire family. But the presentations are totally different. So the why such kind of different presentation is there is because of the immunity level of each family member. The age group, immunity, comorbid conditions, everything matters. And as of now, there is no curative medicines. There are a lot of supportive medicines available, but the medicine as a cure is yet to come. And vaccine is also under clinical trials. We are yet to receive. Now, another panic about this pandemic is second wave. First wave itself is not yet over. But WHO is warning all of us about the second wave. The second wave, they are saying it will be much more horrible than what we are experiencing now. So it is not that if second wave has come, it has to go through us. It is in our hands to stop the second wave. So more points why we are panicking about pandemic is the coronavirus does not follow any rules. It doesn't follow the regulations of WHO or Center of Disease Control, CDC. It doesn't go by stages also. And most of the people, they get into the severe form of the disease during second week of illness. Usually between the 9th to 11th day, they fall into a severe form of disease because of what is called cytokine storm. And so if we, then all of us can think that, okay, during second week, I can be very careful. But it is not that simple because none of us know when exactly was day one. Many of us remain asymptomatic during initial phase of the disease, and all of a sudden we can become sick. So what we should understand is we have to seek medical attention at the earliest. So what are all the common symptoms of COVID? There are two types of symptoms. One is mild and the other one is severe. The mild form of symptoms could start off with fever, throat pain, cold, cough, muscle pain, loss of taste, loss of smell, abdominal pain, or loose stools. Whereas the severe form of disease will present with breathing difficulty, heart attack, or stroke. So who are the high-risk population? Elderly people, those above the age of 60 are more prone for COVID. And people who are having existing illness like diabetes and hypertension, they are also more prone to get this infection. And people who are already immunocompromised, whose immunity is very low, like cancer patients or the patients with transplantation, those who have received the transplant, like kidney transplant or liver transplant, those people are more prone to get the infection. In addition, there are people with chronic ailment or terminally ill patients, they get more easily, they get prone to COVID-19. And in addition, pregnant women are getting affected with COVID quite frequently. All these people are getting affected with COVID because of the low immune status of the patients. And another big category of obese people, they are getting affected with corona so easily. In obese people, the corona infection is common, the disease course is very erratic, and the death rate is very high in them. So recent studies have come out with the reason being why the obese people are getting affected with corona. They have come out with new studies. The studies are showing that there's leptin hormone which is very high in their bodies. So this hormone regulates their immunological status and alters their immunity and makes them prone for COVID infection. So what are all the safety measures we should undertake? First thing is you have to stay at home. Next thing is keep social distance. And you have to wash your hands quite often. And you have to cover your cough. When you cough, don't close your mouth with your hand, rather close your cough with elbow. So what is social distance? Social distance is keeping a distance of minimum of 2 meters or 6 feet between two people. So why the social distance is advised? Coronavirus is a kind of heavy virus. It cannot travel in air for a longer length. So if you keep 2 meters distance from a person who is COVID positive, even if he sneezes, the virus comes out and it will fall onto the ground before it reaches you. So that is the reason why the government is announcing again and again about social distancing. So why government is announcing lockdown? Lockdown is meant to break the chain of viral spread. It is mainly meant to slow down the spread of infection. To flatten the COVID curve, they are having the lockdown. So what is COVID curve? As you see in the screen, there are two curves. The one with the red curve is without lockdown. The one with light blue color is the one because of lockdown, after lockdown. So the area under the curve, that is the number of people affected with COVID, may not change much because of lockdown or with or without lockdown. But there is a drastic change in the outcome of patients. See, if 1 lakh people are affected at the same time, no healthcare sector will have the basic facility to admit them or treat them. Same way, in the other way around, if we have lockdown, the number of infection or the spread of infection will be slow. As we slow down the infection, we'll have enough time to prepare the healthcare sector, to receive the people, treat the people, discharge them, admit a new set of people. So that is the main reason why lockdown is announced. So to control the pandemic, normally we will be facing repeated lockdowns. In addition, in case if you are in a containment zone, that is if your neighborhood is having a COVID case, your movement will be totally restricted until that area is cleared of COVID cases. So these are the common scenes what you encounter during pandemic. So are you all ready for lockdown or to face the lockdown or being at home? So what to do? How to face your lockdown? Normally, all of you know that you will be stocking things, starting from groceries to fruits, vegetables, everything you will be stocking. In addition, you will be drawing money from the ATM and you will fill fuel to your 2-wheeler or 4-wheeler. Do you think you are done? No, not at all. There are a big list which is waiting. You should have a basic COVID medical kit at home. So what is a basic COVID medical kit and what and all it should have? It should have the basic medicines. Paracetamol, betadine for mouthwash and gargle, vitamin C and D3, B complex, zinc tablets, vapor capsules for steam inhalation. And there are some items you should have in hand: masks, gloves, soap and water, and sanitizer. In addition, you should have 2 instruments, pulse oximeter and infrared thermometer. So let's see everything in detail. Before that, why we should have a COVID medical kit at home? Whatever medicines I have mentioned, all the vitamins, they are meant to improve your immunity. By improving your immunity, you can avoid a COVID illness, or even the ordinary flu is very common once a monsoon rain starts up. So you can safeguard yourself from all sorts of fever during this season. And it avoids unnecessary visit to the pharmacies and doctor consultations during lockdown. And in case, if you become an asymptomatic carrier of COVID, asymptomatic carrier means you are COVID positive, but still you don't have any symptoms of COVID. So in that case, the government will ask you to remain at home and take the whatever medicines I have told you. They will ask you to take those medicines and remain at home as home quarantine. So what is the use of betadine mouthwash? It is meant for gargling and mouthwash. Why mouth is so important? Because the route of entry of the virus into your body is through nose and mouth. So to keep the mouth clear of your virus, we have to use betadine mouthwash. And by gargling, you can clear the throat of coronavirus. And steam inhalation. Steam inhalation capsules are available. So you can put them in the hot water. Inhalation, the steam goes through your nose, the sinuses and throat, and other routes of entry of the virus and where the virus normally gets deposited are cleared off because of steam inhalation. On the vitamin tablets, vitamin C, D3, B complex, zinc, all of them, they act by improving your general immunity. So the dosing of these medicines, you can contact your general physician. In case if you are already on any medication like multivitamin tablets, please consult your physician before starting off with the new tablets. So paracetamol.
Excuse me, doctor.
Yeah.
Could you speak slowly because most of the people couldn't follow your speech.
Okay.
Since these are all medical terms.
Okay.
Could you reduce your speed?
Yeah, sure.
And little loud also.
Okay.
Sorry for interruption. Thank you.
So paracetamol. Paracetamol, as you all know, the Calpol or Crocin, what you will have at home. So why we should have paracetamol at home? Because fever can start off all of a sudden, like during the night or during lockdown. At the time of lockdown, normally you won't find the pharmacies open beyond afternoon or beyond evening. So in case if you develop a fever during an odd time, you won't have enough time to go to the pharmacy and get the medicines. So always have a strip of paracetamol at home. And in case if you become COVID positive or you are allowed to be at home as a quarantine, you have to take these medicines only. That time you won't have time to go around to the pharmacies to buy the medicine. And if you get fever, do not delay or deny your medical help. Initially, our government has banned paracetamol tablet over the counter. That means you cannot just like that go to a pharmacy and get a medicine and come back home. Because a lot of people, in spite of having fever, they were having paracetamol and they were sitting at home, and at the end of 10th day or something, they land up to the hospital with severe illness. At that time, we won't be able to safeguard them or save their lives. So late entry to the hospital, we may not be able to save the lives. The moment you get fever, do not delay. So what are all the self-protective equipments you should have? One is mask. Mask, as you all know, and the most common, all myths are about mask, and the most commonly mishandled thing is the mask only. So what kind of mask we should have? We should wear. The mask should have at least 3 layers. Normally, surgical masks are recommended for normal protection against the aerosol spread of virus. Aerosol spread of virus, the virus which goes in air. We have to protect our, as I told you earlier, the nose and mouth are the route of entry of the virus. So it is our duty to protect our nose and mouth from the entry of virus into our body. So what is 3-layered mask? The 3-layered mask will have 3 layers. One is outer layer, middle layer, and inner layer. So the outer layer is the one where the virus in the aerosol gets deposited. And the middle layer is the barrier layer. And the inner layer is the one which covers your nose and mouth, and where your secretions will go and get deposited too. So the outer layer, the virus will get deposited. Inner layer, our secretions will get deposited, and the barrier layer will prevent the entry of virus into either outside or inside. So what about N95 mask? Is it a must for everyone to wear a N95 mask? Not really. It is meant mainly for the healthcare workers. Healthcare workers are the ones who are working in close proximity to the patients. When they are working in close proximity to the patients, normally the viral load will be so much for them. So normal surgical mask may not be able to save them from viral entry. So that is why they are using N95 mask. So what about cloth mask? So if you have a thick 3-layered cloth mask, it is well and good. It has to fully cover your nose and mouth. But don't wear a mask made of cloth like kerchief or shawl. They offer no protection against corona because they are very thin. It is not properly 3-layered, and majority of the time they leave it open at the bottom. So the virus can easily enter your body through the nose and mouth. And there is a strict no to the valved masks because it doesn't stop the virus spread from you to the environment. So, and there are a lot of masks I'm seeing with the kids are having a lot of masks with Chota Bheem and Popeye. They think that Chota Bheem's laddu and Popeye's spinach will safeguard them from corona. It's not at all true. Okay, unless the mask has 3 layers, it offers no protection from coronavirus. So remember, safety is more important than style. So what are all the don'ts about the mask? Now, you should not touch the external surface of the mask because that is a site of viral deposition. If you touch the external surface of the mask, it is your duty to wash your hands with soap and water or sanitizer. And do not remove the mask while talking to anyone or while coughing or sneezing. The entire purpose of wearing a mask is not solved if you do so. And do not use the mask continuously for more than 4 hours or if it becomes wet, because it becomes ineffective after that time. And how to dispose of the mask? Don't throw it on any open dustbin. You have to put them into a covered dustbin so that the virus doesn't get into the environment or aerosol. So another thing what you should have is gloves. Why we should wear gloves? So initially the only mode of spread which was thought of with the coronavirus was, they said it is spreading through the droplets, the salivary secretions from your mouth and nose. So foamid spread if you cough or when you sneeze, the droplets from your nose and mouth get deposited onto a surface. So if another person comes and puts his hand onto that surface and then takes his hand to near his face, he can easily acquire the virus. So to protect your hands, you have to wear the gloves. So if you, in addition, it has an added advantage also. When your hands are free, you normally tend to touch your face and the forehead, eyes, nose or mouth. But when you wear a glove in your hand, you will be conscious that you should not touch your face. And in addition, the gloves protect your skin from repeated exposure to chemicals of sanitizers. So what kind of glove you should wear? They are non-sterile glove, powder-free, and latex hand gloves, which are available in the market. Normally, you will have one pack full of 100 gloves in a pack for 500 rupees or something. You can buy it for your family, and whenever you go out, you can wear it and use it. Same way, how I told you for the mask, you have to dispose them into a closed dustbin, not on a open on the road or into any open area. So sanitizers. Sanitizers are meant to clean your hands from coronavirus. So basically, it is alcohol based, and it's a chemical, and it is volatile. So you have to use the sanitizer only if you don't have a soap and water facility. Like when you are in an office, or when you are in a travel, like when you are going to a shopping, or when you are in a bank or anything, you have to use a sanitizer. Otherwise, if you are at home, or if you are in your working area, if you have a soap and water facility, do not go for sanitizers. So there are basic instruments what you should have at home. The first and foremost one is the pulse oximeter. What is a pulse oximeter? So this is the one which is seen on the picture. So it is of great help to assess your blood oxygen levels. You need not go to any hospital or clinic. You can sit at home and assess your blood oxygen levels. Why we should assess a blood oxygen level? Because it gives the indirect assessment of your lung function. Corona affects the lung more commonly than any other organ. So even if you are not symptomatic, the pulse oximeter will tell you whether your lungs are working normally or not. In case if you are already affected with coronavirus, or if you are COVID positive but you don't have any symptoms and you are in home quarantine, you have to assess your blood oxygen levels with pulse oximeter at least thrice a day and see whether it is in the normal range. The normal range being 95% to 100%. If your blood oxygen level falls below 94, you have to seek medical attention. So it comes around 1,500 rupees to 3,000 rupees. Different models are available. But if you catch hold of a wholesaler in your area, you can get it for the 1,500 rupees pulse oximeter. The pulse oximeter has two values. The SpO2, whatever is shown, that is the oxygen level in your blood. And the PR is the pulse rate of yours. Okay. So if both of them are in the normal range, no need to worry. You have to clip it onto your fingertip. There is no intervention involved. You are not going to get any blood over there. You just need to clip your device onto your fingertip, and that will press against your blood vessel and tell you whether the oxygen level is normal or not. So there is another instrument which is very important. It is called the IR thermometer, infrared thermometer. So what is it meant for? Infrared thermometer is meant to assess your body temperature when you are at home. So it's an indirect way of assessing your temperature, body temperature, even without touching your body. It helps you to reach to the medical help when the temperature is above 98.4. The earliest detection of fever in otherwise asymptomatic carriers is possible with IR thermometer. Especially if you have a COVID positive person at home, and if you are worried about the other people who are at home, whether they, even before you could feel the fever, the IR thermometer will tell you whether you are febrile or not. And it is affordable, families should go for it. It comes by around 2,000 to 2,500 rupees. So if you catch hold of a e-commerce site or any wholesaler in your area, you can get it for a proper pricing. So remember, when you go out and buy these devices, look at the cover of the device. Majority of them are made in China. Okay, you know where the corona started, right? So if you want to help India improve the Indian economy, buy Indian products. So Swadeshi movement has to be applied now. Be Indian and buy Indian. So when you should ask for a medical help? When you have prolonged fever, severe body pain even without fever, generalized weakness or feeling sick, when you don't feel the smell or taste, when you have severe throat pain, when you have dry cough or continuous cough without any phlegm, any secretions, and when you have stomach pain and loose motions, and when you have breathing difficulty. These are the main indications when you should go for medical help. So how to ask for a medical help? because not all the clinics are open now, and not all the clinics are approved to see the COVID patients, and because they don't have the facility to see or treat the COVID patients. So you have to visit a hospital which is approved for treating COVID, whichever is there in your vicinity. If you open internet, that will give you the list of hospitals in your proximity who treat the COVID patients. If you don't know anything, you must be having the helpline number. Every area is given a helpline number. Call the helpline, they'll come home, they'll check you and take you to the hospital in case of need. So home quarantine versus hospital admission. Those who are positive for COVID virus, who decides whether it is home quarantine or hospital admission? Don't think the patient or the patient relative can decide on that. It is the healthcare professional who comes and checks you. They will tell you whether you have to be taken to the hospital or you can remain at home. How they are deciding that? Based on the viral load, age of the patient, the symptoms of the patients, and days since onset of the symptoms. If it is already more than a week, then it is a high indication to go to the hospital. And if the patient is already having any disease like heart disease or lung disease, then they cannot take a trial of keeping them at home. And sometimes some people will have, some people need to undergo additional investigation in addition to the throat swab, which is done to find whether you are COVID positive or negative. There are some lot of other blood investigations which are available to assess the severity of the illness, to assess the disease course and effectiveness of or expected complications in future. So normally they do complete blood count, C-reactive protein, ferritin, D-dimer, interleukin 6, chest X-ray and CT scan of chest. Depending upon the indication, they'll tell you which are all the things you have to undergo. So what are all the don'ts during COVID? When the government is asking you to sit at home or remain inside the home, what we have to follow the rules. Please do not visit the hospital for master health checkup. This is not the time. If you want to go for health checkup and get coronavirus from there and become sick, this is not the time. Okay. And the other thing is, do not visit hospital for the regular checkup. It is my due. Monthly, I am going for checkup and I'm due now. Let me go to the hospital. That attitude should not be there. Unless otherwise indicated, don't visit a hospital or a doctor clinic during COVID time. And you should not roam around the roads unnecessarily during lockdown. Walking or healthcare activities in common areas are highly prohibited. And do not go for shopping daily. Whether it is medicine or vegetables, get them in bulk, store them and use them. Go out once in a week to buy the essentials. If you can have a door delivery or home delivery, that will be much better. Please do not invite or visit your friends and relatives unnecessarily. This is not the time to party. What to do then? You can consult your family physician over phone. You can use the teleconsultation facilities available in bigger hospitals. You can visit hospital only if your doctor asks you to come. But in case of any emergency, do not wait. You can call the ambulance or the COVID helpline. So do you think if you have become COVID positive and recovered from the illness, do you think you are safe? No, not at all. You should have, your body will be very weak. You have to have proteinaceous food, fruits and vegetables. The COVID test can become negative within 2 weeks time, but the complete recovery for the body to happen will take much longer than expected. And another important thing is reinfection is highly possible with COVID. It is not like our smallpox or chickenpox, which gives lifetime immunity. What is lifetime immunity? Once you get the infection in your life, you won't get it again during your life. Okay, but the COVID virus doesn't give such kind of lifetime immunity. So reinfection with another strain of the virus is always possible. So immunity is a deciding factor. Whether see, many people will be exposed to the virus. Whether one person is going to get the infection or if they are going to get a milder form of disease, severe form of disease or no disease, that depends mainly on the immunity of the patient. A lot of our childhood vaccines, starting from BCG to MMR, are proposed to have some cross immunity towards coronavirus. Still, our hands are tied till we get an exclusive vaccine for COVID. So one good thing in India is compared to the Western countries, our death rate is very, very low, very meager, in fact. Why so? Is it undercounting, or it is wrong reporting, or less testing? None of the above. Actually, undercounting and all these things can happen with few numbers. They say that's it, but this reality that Indians are more immune towards COVID than others. That is because of the Indian food. Our food is a highly balanced food, and Indian culture and Indian vaccines. I'll tell you how. We never handshake in our culture. We always say namaste, vanakkam. And we never take the shoes inside the house. We always leave the shoes as well as the infection outside the house, outside our doors. And whoever falls sick, whatever may be the kind of infection, if a family member falls sick, first thing what we do is isolate them. Okay? These are the main factors which protect us from coronavirus. So as I told you earlier, Indian food is a highly balanced food, and we have all the medicinal herbs in the name of spices in our food. And please have the government permitted kudineers and kashayams. The death rate in India is very low because of as compared to the Western world. Even the Western world is looking at us, how come it is possible in India? India is a place which is highly populated. And if you get a pandemic like this in our country, it is very difficult to control because of the population as well as the proximity of the population, because we live in close proximity. You should have a healthy food and improve your immunity. Immunity can only chase corona out of our human community, finally out of the universe. So we are coming to the end of the session. So do you all think that we are experts by now? No. COVID is still evolving, and the knowledge on COVID is also still evolving. The moral of the story is our fate is in our hands and hygiene. Please improve your immunity. Stay healthy and stay safe. And the take-home message is prevention is always, always better than cure. See, our emojis are wearing masks. Our emojis are following the rules. They are wearing the mask, and they are saying namaste, and they are checking their temperature quite frequently. Why not us? We being human beings, we have enough sixth sense to understand the situation, understand the severity of the situation, and safeguard ourselves, and we have to be socially responsible. And I'll see you all again in another webinar on how to maintain your mental health during COVID era. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah.
Gave us the guidelines for COVID-19 short and sweet, and came to know about this COVID medical kit, pulse oximeter, IR thermometer, madam. And
Yeah.
Be Indian by Indian was also good. Hats off to your patriotism.
Thank you.
Okay, madam. Then we'll go to the question answer session.
Yeah.
Madam, you just take your stop your share screen.
Yeah. One second.
Sahana?
Yeah.
Sahana?
Yeah, just a minute, madam.
Madam, already few questions from the chat box.
Okay.
Is 3-layered mask washable?
See, now better not to wash them and keep them. Cloth mask, you can wash them and keep them, but surgical mask, what I showed you in the picture, they are not washable. They have to be disposed once used.
Okay. Okay. And one more question, non-alcoholic organic sanitizers, is it better for fire safe one?
Sorry, I'm not getting it. Non-alcoholic?
Organic sanitizer, is it safe for fire also? In the kitchen if they are working?
No, see, alcohol is mainly a disinfectant. So I don't know about the non-alcoholic base of sanitizers. So chemical sanitizers, whatever is in use now, it is highly, highly inflammable. So don't apply it on your hand and go to your kitchen immediately and switch on your flame in the stove. Okay, and you are not supposed to leave a big sanitizer bottle inside your car under sunlight and go. Both are highly inflammable. I don't have any idea about organic thing.
Okay. Sir, any hand raise, sir?
No.
Okay. Just give us what should we follow daily, madam? What diet or something? What should we eat daily so that we will increase our immune power?
See, these are all the allopathic recommendations what I have shown you earlier. Everybody cannot afford, or everybody don't like all these stuff basically. Okay, so you have other things also, like the government has allowed you to have some kashayams, like and pudinis, and they are supposed to basically, all of them are supposed to improve your immunity. Please have them. And the other thing is, if you don't want to have the mouthwash which is having all the chemicals, you can have normal salt water in warm water. I mean, you can add the salt, rock salt into warm water and gargle your throat. And other alternatives could be, you can have a highly proteinous diet. Like daily you can have some chundal, okay? Where all the pulses have so much of protein in our, and all the dals, even starting from sambar to dal, everything has protein in it. And elderly people, those who are very sick or who are immunocompromised, better take Protein X, which will improve your muscle strength as well as it improves your immunity.
Okay.
Thank you, Doctor. Mr. K.S. Gopalakrishnan, you can ask your question. K.S. Gopalakrishnan. Sir, please unmute yourself and ask. Mr. K.S. Gopalakrishnan.
Audible, sir?
Yeah, sir. You are audible. Please go ahead.
Yes, yes. I have two questions, sir. Number one, a person has once attacked with the COVID-19 and got cured. Then, second attack is possible.
Yeah, it is possible. Not immediately.
Then how much he should be careful? The same precautions,
whether you had the disease earlier or not, you have to be careful always. Till the pandemic ends, all of us have to be careful. Whether you had the infection earlier or not, you have to treat yourself as you are new.
Okay. Second question is, you advise the paracetamol tablet.
Yeah.
If there is a kit, corona kit, you told, then first thing is, if you feel some fever and other thing, we have to take a paracetamol tablet.
Yeah.
Suppose my doubt or question is, if a person takes a paracetamol tablet to contain the fever, other symptoms may remain asymptomatic inside his body. So by taking the paracetamol tablet, we are concealing the other symptoms. Is it not? Is it advisable to take paracetamol?
No. What I'm telling you is, if you all of a sudden if you are getting a temperature of 102 or 103 in the middle of the night or late evening, when the medical shops are closed, when you cannot go out or reach out for anyone, or when you don't want to take any risk in the late night, you should have, if you have a tablet at home, you can take one tablet in the morning. The moment you wake up, whether you have temperature or not, you call the helpline or call the or attend the fever clinic.
Okay, I understand.
You should not empty the entire strip of paracetamol, wait for your fever to subside, and then go for medical help. Paracetamol tablet is meant for emergencies.
Okay. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good wishes.
Thank you, sir. Galaxy A31, you can ask your question. Galaxy A31, please go ahead. Please.
Hello, madam.
Yeah, hi.
You told about vitamin C and vitamin D3. How frequently should we take them?
See, normally we healthcare workers are supposed to take it minimum 500 milligram of vitamin C per day. We have all started with that virus. Started with vitamin C from day one, like from March itself. We were provided with vitamin C, and we are taking it daily till the pandemic ends. We are supposed to take. But for normal people, the dosing, if you are already not on any medicines, you can have 500 milligram per day continuously. It is not harmful. And about vitamin D3, a lot of studies and scientific papers have come out with the findings saying vitamin D3 deficiency make the people more prone for COVID than anyone else. So as previously, vitamin D3 deficiency was there only in Western countries where they were not getting exposed, where there are not much of sunlight and where people are not exposed to sunlight. We being in a hot country, in spite of being in a hot country, all of us are sitting either inside the home or inside the office where we are under AC. We don't expose our body to sunlight at all. Sunlight is the main thing which gives you vitamin D3. So majority of us, if you check your vitamin D3 level, all of us will be in the insufficiency range or deficiency range. So without checking it, if you want to take it also, consult your physician and you can start having vitamin D3. It is not a mild form of mild dose of vitamin D3. What I'm saying, there are 60,000 international units which is available as a bolus dose, which can be taken twice a week for 3 months time. This is the initial strategy what is given. In case if you have any other existing disease, please consult your doctor before taking any additional medicines.
Thank you, madam. H.G. sir, you can ask your question. H. Gopalakrishnan, please. H. Gopalakrishnan, sir, you can ask your question.
Yeah, just now I got unmuted. Otherwise it was locked. I couldn't unmute at all.
Yeah, please go ahead.
You can ask the question.
Honestly, I have no questions. She has covered far and wide. I have given my appreciation note also in the remarks.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Excellent coverage. Very, very well prepared. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank the care also.
Thanks
Care
a lot,
is
sir.
caring us.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very
Thanks a
much.
lot.
Sir, is there any other question?
Dear participants, if you have any question, please raise your hand. You will be unmuted.
Okay. What is the diet you are taking, madam?
Homemade diet, Amma made diet basically, which
Okay.
makes us run through the pandemic.
Okay.
See, basic vegetarian diet is highly balanced diet. We have carbohydrates, proteins, and fat in proper proportion. If you start off with your idli to your parapasadam, everything is balanced. Okay. So whatever junk food you are having, you are buying from shop, whether it is a pizza or a burger, all these junk food reduce your immunity and brings out and makes you prone for all sorts of infection. Not only COVID, all sorts of infections are possible because of junk food. Our Indian vegetarian food is highly balanced and highly planned food. It is not. It is the gift of our ancestors actually. All the herbs, whatever you are having, like starting from cumin to pepper to everything has its own immunity. All of them are immune boosters actually. Since when we need them in bulk, we are taking in the form of tablets. See, vitamin C is there in lime juice or any citrus fruit, but we need bolus of vitamin C. That means you should have minimum 1 liter of lemon juice, which is not practically possible. Instead of that, we are taking 500 milligram of vitamin C.
Okay. We have to.
Madam. Thank you. Mr. Balamurikishan, you can ask your question.
Hello.
Mr. Balamurikishan, go ahead. Please go ahead.
Can you hear?
Yeah,
A little louder, please.
Yes, sir. If smelling sensation is very low, comparatively normal, what precaution to be taken? Generally, we are having fear in this situation. So, what precaution to be taken?
To check whether you are sensing the smell properly or not, females can sense it very easily. Since they are working in the gas stove daily, once they open the flame, they will be able to smell the smell of gas will be always there. And when they are having some flowers, starting from jasmine to any other flower, they will be able to differentiate whether they are having the smell of it or not. Once you find that you are not having you have lost the sense of smell, you have to ask for medical help only, because that's the earliest symptom what they have proposed. Even without having fever, these symptoms are the earliest one, which is an indication of COVID.
Partially or full?
Sorry?
Sensation, smelling sensation, partially or fully?
It can be either way, sir. So there are no hard and fast rule actually, and the virus, depending upon viral load and your immunity, your body structure, everything changes. No specific symptom is. See, not everyone will have the same set of symptoms or same kind of symptoms or same severity of symptoms. Things will differ. If you find the difference, if it is really appreciable, you have to ask for medical help.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Subramanian, you can ask your question. Mr. Subramanian, you can ask a question. So please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
please tell me, sir.
Hello?
Yeah, please tell me.
Yes. Yes. And you told that second wave is possible. Second wave.
Yeah.
The COVID may also occur second time. Okay?
Yeah.
How to avoid this second wave? What are the precautionary measures to be taken to access this second wave? If the second wave is possible.
So WHO strongly says second wave is on the go. Anytime, any country can face a second wave. And majority of our places, in our place, the first wave itself is not over yet. Okay. So there is no difference between the first wave or second wave. The instructions are the same. Whatever I have told you, the personal protective equipments, the immune boosters, and all these things we have to continue for little longer time. That's all. Whether it is a first wave or second wave doesn't matter to us. It is our health is in our hands only. Immunity is the main armor. So that is the only thing which can protect you from COVID. And other unnecessary outings has to be avoided. You have to avoid crowded places. You have to maintain social distancing, and you have to clean your hands and legs before entering the house. If you go out and come back.
Thank you, ma'am.
Presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. P. Ilangovan, you can ask your question. Mr. P. Ilangovan, please unmute yourself and ask your question. Mr. P. Ilangovan, you can ask your question now. Mr. K. Gopalakrishnan, you can ask now.
Hello, madam. Just I have another question.
Yeah, tell me, sir.
Can you please inform me the particular vitamin tablet name, C and D combination?
Yeah, vitamin C, Limchi is available. Limchi is a chewable form of vitamin C.
Pardon, I am not hearing.
Limchi, Limce, Limchi we call it as. It's a chewable form of vitamin C. Different companies will have different brand names that you can check with your pharmacist.
Okay.
And it is available in a chewable form as well as in a swallowable form.
Okay,
so whatever
okay.
it is, 500 milligram per day is more than sufficient. It is mainly
500
meant
milligram. Okay, okay. And another thing,
so a word of caution, people who are having gastritis, those whose stomach is very sensitive to acids, they are not supposed to take, because vitamin C can aggravate their symptoms. If you are already having gastritis or anything, please avoid vitamin C.
Okay, thank you. And another thing, we have had a very, very useful and free consultation from an efficient doctor. We are all very happy. Thanks a lot and good wishes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. P. Ilangovan, you can speak now.
Thank you, madam, for giving very valuable information. My question is, what are the precautionary steps to be taken for elderly people?
Elderly people?
Yeah.
Please do not go out for anything. Please remain indoors. That is the first thing what you have to do. Because being elderly, you are, tell me, sir.
He is not interested in staying in home. He wanted to go out.
Then with safety is, no one can save you from corona. Going out is the first thing which makes you prone for the virus.
Okay.
Virus doesn't knock your door and come inside your house. We are the one who are inviting it. So the government, why the government is asking you to remain indoors? The main reason being to break the chain, to break the chain of spread. And
what
we can tell you, majority of you will be having some healthcare activity like going for walking or chit-chatting with your friends outside the home or in a common area in your residence. So that has to be avoided. Rather, you must be having a bigger room in the house, right? Like a hall or balcony or terrace, whichever area is there, make use of it. Go for a walking in that area itself. If you want to talk to your friends, don't go to a park or common area in your residence. Rather than you can arrange for a Zoom meeting. You can talk to them, you can see them and talk to them, and it will be more lively rather than going out and getting a virus and coming back home.
Okay, madam. Another question: what type of special food can be given to them?
That is all the same thing only. The highly proteinaceous diet is the one which is indicated. So if they are able to eat normal healthy diet, the diet itself will take care of it. I told you, the dals, the pulses, starting from chundal to sambar, everything will help you. If your diet intake is very low, if the person is not able to eat the normal diet on regular basis, please add some protein supplements like Protein X, which will give you a bolus of protein.
Okay. Thank you, madam, for giving valuable information. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Dear participants, if you have any questions, you can raise your hand. You'll be unmuted. Geeta, you can go with chat box now. Geeta?
Yes, sir. Chat box, we didn't get any question. If anyone has raised the hand, we can ask or we can move on to the next program.
Yeah, please move on.
Vitamin C
Please move on.
Okay. Sahana, announcement about our next program, and it's a very useful program for the students. Art of Succeeding in Competitive Exams by Mrs. Amuda Sujata Ramesh, Director in IAS Academy, on 2nd August Sunday at 10:45 a.m. We're looking for all our participants to be benefited. Be on time. Vote of thanks by S. Balachandra sir, Director, ELM World Academy, Joint Director, CARE. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, Dr. Meenakshi, madam.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for the excellent program. Very informative in this pandemic period. So we have used your program very much. Thanks. Thank you, madam. And we are thanking our Chennai Channel Director, Mr. Pandian, for the nice introduction. Thank you, Pandian sir. Thanks for our designer, Nandanan. Thanks for our trainer, Sakhana. And thanks for our coordinator, Geeta. And above for all our participants, thanks on behalf of Dr. Krishnamurthy, Founder Director. Thanks, Geeta.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. All of you be safe and follow today's advice from Meenakshi madam. See you all on Sunday morning at 10:45 a.m. Till then, it's bye from CARE. Take care.